Well, greetings and salutations, this is Rick. I hope you're having a great day. I haven't made a video in quite a while, so I thought I ought to get the camera out and have a little natter. So this is just going to be a little personal video log, and I'll just have a little natter about whatever's on my mind. Now, I'm having a little go at building a bookshelf. It's kind of like a slightly funky shape. It's sort of like this wobbly S shape. And I basically wanted a bookcase to go sort of in the corner. I'm starting to acquire lots of sort of trinkety things and ornaments and things, and they're starting to get a bit cluttery. So I thought if I have them in one place, they might make the house a little bit neater. And also I can get some books on there as well. I've got nowhere to put my books. So that would be nice. So I'm just sort of going to be constructing it as I chat, I think. Now I have been unwell again. It's starting to get a bit of a regular thing, but I went to the docs a couple of weeks ago, and I'm kind of optimistic that I may be onto something that is going to solve my ongoing health issues that just keep cropping up all the time. Basically, the doctor thinks I may have a gallstone issue, and the doc basically seemed to imply that if it is a gallstone issue, it's quite possible it may have been responsible for all of the or a lot of the issues I've had in the past. So anyway, I'm booked in next week up at the hospital for a scan, and hopefully that's going to reveal everything, and hopefully I may sort of see, I'm kind of optimistic there's some light at the end of the tunnel. I can get these issues dealt with, even if that means having surgery to have the gallbladder removed, and then I can kind of get on with my life. Now I seem to be watching a lot of car dash cam videos lately on YouTube. I don't know why, and I sort of, in a way, I sort of think of it as a almost like training for driving. It's sort of it kind of highlights the things that, you know, to watch out for and to be careful of and be wary of. But one of the things that keeps sticking in my mind, now I've watched quite a few of these videos, is how much like a dry tinderbox it can be out there on the roads. And you see some of the most like innocent mistakes, and the drivers around them just going absolutely crazy, you know, sort of just blowing everything up out of all proportion. And a lot of these people who actually send in their own dash cam footage, they're actually just showing themselves to be like in the wrong. And I mean, one example that sticks in my head, it's just basically somebody like the example I just gave. They were obviously in the wrong lane. They were trying to get over. They were indicating, they were waiting. And this guy is just like, he can clearly see they're trying to pull in, but instead of like letting them through, he's like racing right up to them and muscling himself in. He's like, right, no, you're not getting in here. And it's hands on horn, and he's going ballistic and stuff. But yeah, I was just watching some of these videos last night, and that really stuck in my head, you know, about how people are so quick to become hysterical over the stupidest little things. And I don't know, it just kind of once again it just reinforces my my desire to want to keep out of most people's way. I don't know, maybe it's just a growing old thing. But I know last time we were camping, my friend Damon, he said, oh, there's a new series coming out on telly called, I can't remember what it's called, like, I think it was it Gunpowder? It was all about Guy Fawkes and blowing up the Houses of Parliament. And he said it's made by the people who make Merlin and Doctor Who, so it should be really entertaining. And I thought, oh great, I'll watch that. I got halfway through the first episode and I had to turn it off. I was traumatized. It was awful. I mean, properly awful. It was so, I mean, it was really dark right from the beginning. But then there's like all these scenes of torture and people being murdered. You actually see this young man being hung, drawn and quartered. And I mean, he's still like, he's so young, he's practically a child. And I'm like, I just like, you cannot unsee that. How do people watch this as entertainment? I was truly horrified by it. And literally, I mean, like I said, I cannot unsee that now. So I should be more wary in future of anything like that. But I don't know if it's just me or not. I'm really struggling at the moment to find good, entertaining stuff to watch on TV. It's everything. There seems to be this massive trend for everything to be dark and gritty, and I absolutely, dark and gritty is the last genre that I would choose. I would just love to find a series that's just light, entertaining, leaves you with a, you know, that kind of feel-good feeling. And I have yet to find a modern sort of series on TV that gives me that. I'm actually thinking of giving up my Netflix subscription. I sort of spend ages kind of going through all the little trailers and everything to see, you know, see if I can find myself a decent series that I can get stuck into. But there's nothing that I'm finding that is just kind of light entertainment. It's all dark, gritty stuff, and I just so don't like dark and gritty. But yeah, be interested to hear your opinions on the state of modern TV and, like, the, you know, the sort of entertainment industry as a whole. So this is coming along quite nicely. I think I've got one more level after this, so it's going to be about that tall, which is good because you won't see the dust on the top. But yeah, I'm hoping to sort of put things like that, that eagle that I printed out, or 3D printed out, and I've got a nice rearing horse ornament that can go on it as well, and hopefully it's going to look good, and it's going to give me the chance to make the room a little bit neater as well. I'm not saying I'm a neat freak, but I don't like clutter. I find clutter just when a room feels too busy, there's too much stuff everywhere. I feel I don't know, it feels quite oppressive. I know a number of years ago, I really completely cleared out the house, kind of went a little bit minimalist, and the more stuff I got rid of, the lighter I felt in my kind of mind and spirit and everything. So it all kind of supports that theory that I sort of come up with, that you don't actually own stuff, it owns you, and the more you've got, the more owned you are by it. For me, works really well, and I just find it quite liberating to not be sort of bogged down by ownership of stuff, if that makes any sense. You're going to be picking holes now in everything you can see there, aren't you? Well, you don't need that, or you don't need that. Why have you got that? Right, well, this is looking okay. I managed to get out on the telescope the other day. We had a nice clear frosty, well, it wasn't quite frosty, but it went down to about 1 degree in the evening, and there was a little bit of mist around to start with in the evening, but as the evening drew on, it was quite clear. I managed to take this picture of the Andromeda galaxy, and I was quite pleased with it. It's still not the right colour. I mean, if you look at Andromeda pictures on Google, they're incredibly colourful. There's blues and ambers and reds and everything in there, but for some reason my picture just came out pretty well, it's basically orange. But that was about, I think it was an hour and a half's worth of exposure, but I'm still fighting with light pollution, and I'm still struggling to process the pictures after I've taken them. That image was actually a stack of, I think it was 51 images all stacked together. But I mean, I've seen other astronomers who've taken much better pictures of Andromeda with sort of similar amounts of information. So I'm obviously doing something wrong. To be honest, I'm not necessarily using the best software to process the astrophotography photographs. I use basically Deep Sky Stacker to stack the images, and then I finalize the images in Photoshop Elements. But the Elements version of Photoshop doesn't even have, I don't think it has a curves function. So I sort of have to do everything using the levels function. At some point I'll probably get the right software, but it's just all so blooming expensive. So, and I refuse, at the moment I refuse to buy software on lease. If you want, you know, a decent version of Photoshop, you literally have to rent it from Adobe at like £10 a month, which is about $15 a month. And if you're in America, it's $10 a month. But if you're in the UK, it's £10 a month. So we're paying half again as much, which is a bit of a con as far as I'm concerned. But I refuse to buy software on lease. It's just not something I want to do. Anyway, this is now complete, the feet are on it, so let's see what we've got. There we go, of course, quite heavy. So, do I tuck it away behind there, or do I bring it out a bit? I think that'll be fine there. Obviously I'm going to have to move the clock, find it a new home, but that's no problem. Let's just take the screw out of the wall. And it's also come with these, where are they? These little white cap things, or these little white stickers that you stick over the holes where the screws are. So that's going to take a little while to do. But anyway, there we go. That is Rickworld at the moment. Hopefully the next video I make will be when we're camping, and hopefully that should be fun and entertaining. Well, obviously we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping the weather's going to hold out and we get some nice weather and it's not too cold. I know Joe's coming along, so and he's bringing Rocco with him as well, which is his dog. So I'm hoping that the dog's going to be able to settle down and sort of cope with it. But yeah, it should be good. So I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, that is Rickworld at the moment. There's not a lot else to report really. But hopefully the next video might be just a little bit more interesting, because this one's probably pretty dull. So there we go. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great rest of the day, and hopefully I'll see you very soon in the next video, which will hopefully be the camping one. Till then, take care.